to present, organized here again. First is a resolution certifying the local match for the Lebanon Transit System, which is a requirement in order to obtain state operating financial assistance for Lebanon Transit. There must be a demonstration of local match, which the county has done year after year in the county's general fund budget, and the local match for 2024 is $150,605, and that is, again, that is included in the budget as part of the adoption, and this is to certify those funds.
I'll make a motion to approve that resolution.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve that Lebanon Transit match. Any questions? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved.
Okay, I have a hotel tax request from the Friends of Old Annville. They are requesting $5,000 in funding for Old Annville Days, which we began back in the 1980s as a fair involving, at that time, just a few tables on the sidewalks, and it has now evolved into a fair of 200 vendors, stages of live music, thousands of attendees, house tours, reenactors, etc. Their total project cost for Old Annville Days is $8,000, and they're requesting a $5,000 grant from the Hotel Tax Fund.
Motion?
I'll make a motion to award $5,000 to Friends of Old Annville.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions regarding the motion? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, so moved.
Okay, I have exemption requests for disabled veterans who have met all the requirements of the exemption program from real estate taxes. They are Lorenzo Green of East Main Street, Annville, Raymond Frattini of Wenger Street, Rexmont, Bridget Fry of Watson Street, Lebanon, and Timothy Shawley of Lincoln School Road, Jonestown.
Make a motion to approve those exemptions.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve those property tax exemptions for disabled veterans. Any questions? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign, so moved.
Okay, you've been asked to submit a letter of support for the Abbey Mural Prize Jury, the National Academy of Design. This is for a mural, Mosaic Mural Project that is proposed to be part of the America 250 PA celebration in 2026. The Gretna Arts are proposing to facilitate this type of mural, but in order to do so they need funding and are requesting that from this Abbey Mural Prize. One of the requirements of the grant submission is a letter of support from the local governmental jurisdiction, number one, and number two, a promise or a commitment that this mural would be accessible and on display at a very highly visible location or public building. And I believe Commissioner Kuhn spoke with Pat Kerwin over at the Expo Center, and he checked with his executive committee of the board, and they'd be happy to host it if it were to come to fruition. So this is the very first step in the process, and they're asking for a letter of support from you to submit the application. The cost, I believe, they estimated somewhere around $17,000 to $20,000 for this mural. It would be a community involvement type of a mural. It's made of glass, but made of just bits of glass. So they would intend to have different workshops around the county where different community organizations could create these glass pieces. They would get then fired and put together, thousands of them put together into a mural, almost like a puzzle piece mural.
Depicting.
I'm not sure what their final
250th. Yeah.
plan would be, but I think that's
It's an American flag.
Yes.
It's an American flag.
Yep, yep.
so.
To commemorate the
May I
anniversary.
ask if there's a building chosen and the size of the mural?
If I remember
The
like
size of the murals, there's 3 panels that are
5 by 9,
each,
I think.
yeah, so the total would be 9 feet wide by
Yeah.
5 feet tall, so it's rather large.
I presume the location would be
Yep, I've seen that.
Final rendition.
Yep, showed you.
The
Oh.
entryway of the expo.
That's what that up.
Okay. That looks a lot like the one on the One Legion or whatever it is down on Lehman Street.
Okay, maybe they don't have to do it.
But that's painted, that's not tile.
Is there a motion to support the letter?
I'll make a motion to support this, to endorse this letter of support, and I also want to recognize Carrie Royer from Gretna Art Theater, who is bringing this forward and really taking the lead on this, and again, she's offered to coordinate these workshops, so we could have hundreds, if not thousands, of people creating their, she said, she's done these before for other organizations,
Sure.
and she said that the people that put their specific piece together usually take a photo with their phone, and then when it's completed, try to find their piece, and so we're gonna have real community involvement here, which is a special part of it.
Yeah, I'll second the motion if we didn't have a second yet.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we approve this letter of support, and I understand there's a time constraint, but that's why
Exactly, this
today
will be
was
filed next week.
had to do it, so.
Right.
Okay, any questions regarding the motion? This is probably our first, or maybe second official act regarding the anniversary of the country, so. No questions, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign, so moved.
Yeah, I have two things related to the Marcellus Shale grant that the county receives funding from Act 13. That can be funding that can be used for environmental, recreational type improvement projects, revitalizations, things like that. So the planning department, Julie Cheney in planning, had sent out solicitations and received applications late 2023. And those have been compiled and put together for your review, and just recently we got to put those together, and Julie and I have some recommendations for you based on your input, based on the funding available, and based on the nature of the applications. So what I'll read here are the projects that are recommended to be funded, and at what the cost of the project and at what level of funding, and then you can go from there. So the first one would be a Jackson Township project. It's Wheatland Woods Park project, which is development of a neighborhood park in the Wheatland Manor development. The cost of that project is $330,500, and a recommended award is of $13,000. By the way, the available amount of funding is $228,000 among all of these, so it had to be spread out.
This is a 2-year.
Yes, it's every other year. We've received funding every year, but in the past, it was decided that rather than use that smaller amount every year, to let it build a bit, and then you can hand out some larger grants that are worthwhile.
So is there a reason we would hold $1,000? If it's 228 available and we have 227 recommended?
That's just where we came out in terms of evening some of these out. There are a lot of 13,000s and that are half of the max 25 and so on. So
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
not really. I mean, that's what the numbers came to 227 instead of, if you want to divvy up the 1,000 somewhere
Or
add it
add
somewhere,
1,000 to something.
You certainly
Yeah,
can.
we can do that when we get the motion.
So let me walk through them all here. So Jackson Township, Wheatland Manor, Woods Park Project, $13,000. South Lebanon Township, South Hills Park Playground, 2024, remove and replace the main playground at South Hills Park. Cost of the project, $179,476, recommending $13,000 there. The North Lebanon Township Parks Maintenance and Beautification Project, plant trees, install new benches and recycling receptacles, cost of $53,700, recommending $13,000 there. The Lebanon YMCA has a Camp Rocky Creek Pond Dredging Project to dredge the lake, restoring the aquatic environment, restoring the depth for kayaking, etc. Cost of that is $48,000, recommending a $24,000 grant to that one. North Cornwall Township has a Snitz Creek Park inclusive playground. Purchase and install inclusive playground equipment at a cost of $114,770, recommending $13,000. Lebanon Valley Conservancy has a gold mine greenway conservation project to acquire a deed of conservation easement on 124 acres in the area of Gold Mine Road and north of Greenpoint Road. $137,500 acquisition, recommending $13,000 toward that. Cornwall Borough has Snitz Creek Park Phase 1 improvements, amenities being added to the northern and southern portion of the Snitz Creek Park, a $500,000 project, recommending $13,000 toward that. East Hanover Township has a roof replacement project, rehabilitation of roof on existing pavilion and garage and recreation area. That is a $20,000 project, recommending $10,000 toward that. Richland Community Association, Inc. has a revitalization project to construct a new picnic pavilion at their facility, which used to be the Richland Pool for reference. They now have it's a community association center there. $342,000 project, recommending $13,000. Lebanon County Conservation District has a 2025-2026 Lebanon County Envirothon, high school, middle school, elementary school envirothons, $78,896, requesting, they requested $25,000. I think this is the only one where it's a full recommendation for $25,000. I think the commissioners have historically funded that maximum amount of $25,000. Also, Lebanon County Conservation District requesting funding for a Swatara Creek super gauge, funding to collect water quality trends in Lebanon County and the Swatara Creek, $144,000 project, recommending $13,000 toward that. Jonestown Borough has the George H. Kaufman Community Park playground relocation and enhancement, purchase new equipment and prepare the site for installation of the new equipment, a $200,000 project, recommending $13,000 to that one. Hilltop Playground Association plans on blacktop resurfacing and a greenway project, milling and paving of basketball courts, walking paths, common areas, and 6 new decorative brick masonry planters. Cost of $50,785, recommending $13,000. The City of Lebanon is doing improvements to the Veterans Memorial Walkway Project, installing new metal benches, ADA tables, tree planting, and directional signage. Cost of $114,000, recommending $25,000. And Richland Borough of Richland Park Revitalization Project, installing new playground equipment. This is different from the Community Association. This is the borough. Installing new playground equipment with ADA safety service, new tot lot, and new youth playground. $147,385 for the project, $13,000 recommendation. And again, if there's, you know, that totals $227,000. If there's $1,000 that's there, you want
I mean, I have
to
a
contribute
thought,
somewhere, but.
I have a thought for it if no one else has a specific, I was thinking with the clean water emphasis that we have, that maybe the Swatara Creek super gauge thing would be a good spot for it, you know.
Exactly.
I see, that's, these are all fabulous, I mean, but the super gauge, there's another one just a couple miles downstream. I don't know, and when they wanted to install this, I explained to them that particular fact, and there are companies, not companies, bureaucracies really. There's USGS, which installs free gauges, but I think they went through another avenue and they had to pay to install the gauge. And I don't know that they had any experience in it and maybe could have been more frugal. And so
I'll withdraw that one. It was just a suggestion because clean water sounded safe to me, but I'll withdraw it and put it wherever you'd like to do it.
No, I think it's good, because again, well, if they have another one to purchase, it's still going to the Conservation District, so, you know, we have that $1,000. It doesn't matter to me, but I think that's a good place for it. I'll make a motion to approve this list as submitted with one exception to item number 13 for the Lebanon Conservation District and Swatara Creek super gauge for additional $1,000.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion?
again, we're looking at a package, and there are two projects that, having had water as my background, and I'm very passionate about it. The other one being the dredging of Camp Rocky Creek. I'm not a fan of dredging. Wetlands are natural. Ponds fill in naturally and create wetlands, and that is what is happening. I have to vote for the whole package, but those two, I have very distinct rationale as to why they are not necessarily on this list because I'm supporting them, let's put it that way.
Yeah, did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. I see that there was no amount approved at all for the Union Canal Tunnel Park. And Commissioner Kuhn, you just said you supported the way the ARPA funds were being spent because of the historical value of that. And these amounts are large amounts, and I know that that grant was for just a little bit over $5,000. And the request was put in to pay for 50% of a new lawnmower for the park, which is run by all volunteers. And I know in the past that maintenance equipment such as that has been approved the 2 years before for the Lebanon Valley Rail Trail project. And I'm just curious as to why that project wasn't funded at all. I mean, I know there's limited funds, it's like that for all grants, but because of the historic value of the tunnel, and you know, it's the oldest water transportation tunnel in the whole country, why they didn't get any amount at all.
Yeah, I don't think it was a statement against history or the fact that it's the oldest. I think it broke down in my recollection that it wasn't as good a fit as the rest of these in terms of the guidelines. That's what I recall.
Okay, but money for this type of equipment was given in the past.
I understand, but I'm just saying, weighing against these other ones is what I recall. But Jamie, maybe you have more clarity.
Yeah, it was due to the fact that it's an equipment purchase, and you know, you may be correct about it in the past. but
There've
that
been
was-
equipment purchase used in the past because at a previous meeting within the last couple of months, they actually did not spend their money within the time period and had requested additional time to use up their money to purchase those types of equipment. That's the only reason I remember was because it came up recently, so.
Okay, and that may, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but
No.
that was the
I
rationale.
know, I was here.
That was the
I was
rationale
there.
for it being just hard equipment versus.
And the total number of requests tallied 389,000, correct, Jamie?
Yes.
And we had to whittle that down to 228,000, so everybody got 100% of what they asked. And so they're not the only one that didn't get a request, the specific request. It's just trying to prioritize.
Anything else? If not, all in favor of the motion as presented, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved.
Okay, related to those awards, this is a past award, but a request for it to be revised slightly. This is, again, the Richland Community Association. They received a grant previously back in 2021 in the amount of $24,400. Part of that grant was for the repair of a sinkhole on the grounds where they have their recreation, and as it turned out, that repair came in far less than anticipated, and they still have the remainder of that allocation. They're asking if they could change the use, adapt the use of the remaining funds to include other repairs to the grounds, such as establishing water and electric service, reestablishing water and electric service, landscaping around the building and the park, and they would ask that you give them that change or that revision to the old grant.
I make a motion to approve the request.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign, so moved.
That's everything that I have.
All right. Anything else from the floor? Nothing else, look for a motion to adjourn.